was like
Go ahead.
mischaracterizing people for his own benefit to argue with. I don't know. The argument is it's called a straw man, but basically he was arguing against something that people aren't actually saying just to make himself sound like more righteous in a sense.
Well, yeah, but if you don't want to be a part, if you don't want to be a part of the conversation, then why say anything to begin with? Like you had to have
Oh, I
known.
That's
completely agree. I completely
Ren
agree. I mean,
is
him
Ren is
making the
he's notoriously bad for that though. It's what he does. He'll like he gets I think he's like really impulsive. So he'll get on Twitter every once in a while and just go on crazy political rants and then go back and mass delete everything. Like he does it like quite
there's a ton
frequently.
of people who do shit like that. There's so many people that I can think of, like on both sides, that just do crazy shit like that. But I mean,
It's
if you're
very
gonna put it
funny.
out there, it's gonna live on the internet forever. So you better be damn sure, and you better be be willing to accept the consequences of whatever drama and whatever videos are made from it. Because it's not like you pulling your video is gonna end it, Nelson. I mean, he
Well, I
deleted the
think
tweet,
No,
but
of
everyone
course not.
knows it happened.
Well, I know. That's why I woke up the next morning and I was like, man, I'm sick. I'm sick about this. I can't believe I allowed myself to do this. Like, I would never, I'm just not that type of person as it is. Like, I normally will stand on what I say, but like the next morning is when I went back and I was like rewatching my video and I was like, oh my God, he was so wrong. Like, everything that I'm saying here, there's nothing that can even be misconstrued. Everything I'm saying here is about unification. And he's like, I just feel like this is divisive. And I got to be honest, like, I lost a
When
level
he's
of
the one who
respect
did
for
the
Ren for
divisive
that.
thing in the first place.
Yes, yes, that's what I'm saying. Like, I
Well,
have a level of respect
I
that I
don't
have
even
lost for him that I need. Like, it sucks because I love him as an artist, but like, what was that, bro? That's crazy. Like, I'm thinking to myself while I'm doing it, like, oh man, I don't want to play a part in divisiveness. So when I went back and watched the video, and I was like, oh wow, I really was like everything but divisive. How do I take that? What am I supposed like? I guess it's lesson learned. You live and you learn. I've only been doing this for a couple of years now, but I'll never let it happen again. Ain't nobody ever gonna get me to take another video down. I'll tell you that. Never.
cut to 2 weeks from now. Tom's like, please take this down. He's like, yes, sir.
I was
No,
just
I
about to
won't. I promise I
say.
won't. I promise I won't, bro. And number two, Tom would never ask me to do that. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I don't. I think Ren is like in a. I don't know. I don't. I can't speak for him. I don't know. I think because he doesn't. I'm telling you, he does it a lot. He'll go on his rants and then delete the shit. So
If Tom was gonna ask me to delete a video, I mean, it would have been done already. Like he would have asked me to already. You know what I mean? There's videos where
yeah, no.
I'm not nice to him at all. Like he's never asked me to
Yeah,
do
I just think it's
such.
messed up. The guy opened Pandora's box. He made the tweet, live with the consequences of your actions. And the thing is, like, like I said, I don't think it was
He
even
was
that
right.
divisive of a tweet.
Yeah,
He was,
he
yeah,
was
he
right.
was just factually correct. And of course, people are going to freak out and be like, oh, Ren's a liberal pussy.
And I
Uh,
also wanted to
Tom is
speak out
pointing
on
out the
his
truth
behalf
and all
against
that
that.
shit.
So I am doing that in the video too, where I'm like, listen, like just because Ren critiques Tom doesn't like it's not even coming from a bad place. It's not coming from a shit starter place. This is coming from a place of concern, I think. Like
Yeah, I
artist to
agree.
artist, you do what I do. We both
Well,
have
I don't
this
know if he
massive
was actually
following.
concerned. I think he was just trying to point out a level of hypocrisy or like just a level of um uncharitability he's having for the people who are critiquing him. Because I think that's natural.
Right.
Like I think a lot of the times everybody wants to be like, oh well, if you hate me for bad reasons. You can't hate me for good reasons. Like it's just
That's
natural.
true. That's true. But just
Who-
knowing Ren, I
who's-
feel like Ren and his whole we gotta make sure we're unified thing. Hey, what's up, girl? We gotta make
Quick
sure we're
question: Ren or
unified. You
Tom
know what I
McDonald?
mean? And I'm like,
Ren.
well, for sure. Me too. Like artistically speaking, Ren is a better artist than Tom. That shouldn't even be like I don't think Tom would argue against that, bro. But musically, like sonically, I do rock with more of Tom's records than Ren's records based off what I've heard. Like Ren has like 4 masterpieces. Tom has like 30 bangers. You know what I mean? It's the Drake versus Kendrick argument. You know what I mean? It's like I'm going to listen to Drake all the time because Drake is fire and he just makes great music for every situation in life. And Kendrick is just like this artist that you really got to squeeze your eyes, squint, think about what you're listening to, and put it all together. And I love music like that too. But those fan bases shouldn't be going against each other. And it's not my fault that they decided that they were going to go against each other. That's
Well,
Ren's
the-
fault.
Man.
Yeah.
I mean, Tom's fans are not. Tom has some of the most awesome fans, but the
Yes, he
the
does.
fans that are fanatical, those people are out of their mind. Because everybody else that I was seeing in the comment section were like down with the conversation. It's the fanatics that take it to this like, I see negative thing about Tom, I unsubscribe. Like one guy said that. It was like, what the hell? Like, you are psychotic. Which then Dylan's gonna be like, yeah, that's a MAGA rapper, or that's a MAGA voter for you. It's like, you know
Legit,
what I mean?
though,
Like,
it is. Bro, you see that shit about Iran? It's about MAGA voters, 100% support for Trump
which
in
is
Iran.
better
That's
than North
crazy.
Korea. That's better than North
Yeah,
Korea.
yeah.
It's bullshit. It's a bullshit poll, but come on.
Well, what do you
Yeah.
guys
Well,
think about
it's
everything going
CNN. I
on
mean,
over
what
there right
reason?
now?
I mean,
Is
I
there
don't know.
like no reason in y'all's minds whatsoever where taking care of this issue in Iran could be a good thing?
Nope.
Oh, have we not talked about? Oh, well, Silver will
I don't
say
think
no,
so. I
but
don't think we've thought
I'll.
about it like whether it can be a good thing or a bad or only bad. Like, I'm just curious because I don't know
Well,
enough
Silver,
about
you
it.
go first.
It's very simple. I'm not. There's no point in using my dumb brain. I follow the all the people that I listened to, the Anomalies, the Dave Smiths, the Owen Schreiers, the what's his name, Clint Russell, all Tom Woods, all these people that promote, like they were going hard in the paint in 2024 for the anti-war campaign that Trump was running on. Tulsi Gabbard was running on. Tulsi Gabbard ran her campaign
Yeah, but
with
that Silver, he's asking
an-
you if the
hold
actions
on,
have
I'm
merit,
getting I'm
not
getting
if.
there. I'm getting there.
Oh,
I'm just saying I'm of their mindset. I'm with them 100%. So, is there ever a time to go to war with Iran? Sure, if they did something. That's not what was happening. That was a war of choice. We were pressured into it by Israel. They said it themselves. No, I'm out. 100% out.
So nothing good can come from it.
Good. No, it's already a disaster, dude. Like what Israel just bombed, it's going to take 10 years to recover on the LNG part of it. There's no good can come from this. Now, it doesn't
Okay.
mean that Iran was good. Their regime was horrible. I don't think anybody defends that. They're terrible. But no, nothing's good from this point on. This is it only gets worse.
What do you think?
um, partially agree. I mean, so I'll be slightly more charitable, I guess, even though I hate doing it.
People need to hear it. I
Theoretically, it
mean,
could be a good thing. Like at the start of the, so we're getting further and further away, I think, from potential good is the problem. Like, and just the way it's been handled. Like, if there was a coherent argument that was made, and like they were like, "Hey, American people, we have a plan. Here's what we're going to do. We have very clear strategy. We have very clear goals, right? We're going to execute this plan. We're going to strive for these goals. And then, we're going to get the fuck out." That's one thing. But it's been a complete clusterfuck. Every day, it's like a Trump official is rolling a die to figure out what their talking points are going to be. Nobody knows what the fuck's happening. Trump can't decide if we want allies there or we don't need allies, or if we've won already, or if we haven't won already, or if we're going to do a ground invasion, or if we're going to do a draft, or if they have nuclear weapons, or if they don't. And then you have Tulsi Gabbard, who can't answer a clear question. The director of national intelligence, the fucking director of national intelligence, the person over the CIA and the FBI and the NSA and all of our fucking intelligence gathering, can't go in front of a Senate committee, a Senate oversight committee, and clearly answer, was Iran an immediate threat to the United States of America? Or did they have imminent nuclear weapons coming? Like,
The
she
answer is
can't answer that.
no on
It's
both
her
sides.
fucking job, Nelson. It was literally called like
Okay.
the World Threat Assessment Hearing. And she can't say if there's a threat of Iranian nuclear weapons, because she has to cop out answer and say, "Oh, well, Donald Trump is the only one who can decide that." No, bitch. It's your job to tell Donald Trump the information to make that decision. So you should have
Okay.
at least bare minimum a personal opinion. You have access to everything. So no, like, there's just no clear defense for that. Like, the worst possible thing you can be is in a situation like this without a clear plan. The worst possible thing. So
So
if he
what's the
had a
good?
clear plan, if he was, well,
Well,
what
I don't
what I was
know.
saying is,
That's why I'm asking.
there could be good, there could have been good if there was a coherent plan. Like, I'm not, obviously they do, that regime is terrible, they do a ton of terrible things. If we had a clear plan and say, "Hey, we're gonna kill these people, or arm these particular rebels, or whatever it takes to do an actual proper regime change, even though it hasn't worked out before. But theoretically, some people say that it could work out with Iran because of the way the public sentiment was and all these other things, that maybe there is an argument that it could have been good, but absolutely not. The way we've done it has been abysmal and like the worst possible case scenario. We're literally
I was
just
told
floundering at this point.
So if we go
I was
over there
told
and we stomp all over everybody and we get up out of there, let's say in 90 days from now, and this is over with and Iran is not a threat to anybody at all, that's not possible.
How would that make anything better? Like
I
if
don't know.
if
I
you
mean,
want to
there's a lot
solve a
of people
problem
that are
just
afraid of
dropping a bunch of bombs,
Iranians. I'm not one of them, but there are a lot of people out there that are like terrified of Iran, terrified of
yeah, there are a lot of
Iranians.
people who are afraid of fucking aliens and
But
ghosts and
don't
well,
but don't you feel like just to play devil's advocate here, like you feel like we should like people that come into the country, we should accept them into the country, but at the same time you don't feel like we should go out there and help people on the outside of the country that need help in the same way?
no.
Okay. I
well,
mean,
this
I'm
is where
just
Silver and I disagree because I think we should help people on the outside of the country, especially when it's
I
in our
do
best
too.
interest, which is world stability and all that. But the problem is there's certain times where that the problem is, and the issue, I'll agree with a lot of what Dave Smith has said on this, which is very rare. Historically, when we've done all this stuff, it fucks everything up worse. Like we'll go
Okay.
in, we'll try to install somebody, or we'll go in, we'll arm the rebel group, and then suddenly after the rebel group we arm takes over, then they fucking start hating America and they start doing terrorism against us and all this other shit. I mean, I'm not well read enough to know the particular historical examples, but I mean, there's situations where the weapons that we've given people are literally used against our own soldiers, 20 years
Yeah,
later,
it's
right?
I
So
can name all off. It's look,
yeah,
it's quite horrible. There's no defending it. It's absolutely insane. And to answer your point about helping people on the outside, I want 8 years of isolationist. I want 8 years where we focus on home, focus on our house, and then we can move out into the neighborhood later once we fix our house. That's it. We can't afford. We literally can't afford to do this for any more time. They're asking for $200
what if
billion.
your neighbor's house is on fire
Yeah.
Do what?
and
That's
it's
what I
windy?
meant. Yeah, that's a good. I don't think that 8 years of isolation is the
Well,
right
Silver,
answer. Go ahead.
what if your neighbor's house is on fire while you're building your house and it's windy?
You mean like Mexico or something?
Or anywhere. I mean, bro, it's a
That's
small
but
world
no, I'm
these
saying
days.
that's the analogy, right?
Well,
So you're saying
a
what if
neighbor, I mean,
they
sure,
would be our
Mexico,
neighbor?
whatever you want to say. But the thing is, it's a small world. Like literally, the tiny piece of water that Iran controls, the Strait of Hormuz, is affecting our gas prices here right now. So you can say neighbor as in only Mexico, but everything affects everything, unfortunately, in this world.
But
So
we've been the world police and failing at it for how long now? I'm just saying all we need is 8 years to recover, and then we can go back
all
out
I'm
and do
saying
it.
is let's
Do
just
it.
get better at being the world police.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
what's
not
8 years of recovery gonna do though? Like, how do you know in eight
a
years we'll
lot.
be in a better place? We could
Are
be
you in a better
worse if
place
all
after
we do
recovery?
is. I'm just saying,
Were you
like,
in? Were you,
if all we
no,
do is
Nelson. Think about
concentrate
it.
on this. Go ahead.
No, like think about whenever and you and I both were at our worst years ago, right? Once we fixed ourselves, we were better suited to go help others, right?
Of course, yes, yes.
Then that's all. That's all I'm doing. I'm just applying that
Yeah,
logic.
but if
Well,
the
okay.
apocalypse yourself.
That's a crazy. That's a binary. It doesn't have to be that way. There's other
Well,
people. There's other Western countries that can help.
I agree with
Yeah,
Silver
but
on
they're all
that.
fucking
Like, if you're
pussies and
not,
they're not
well,
awesome like we are.
because Dylan, what you're saying though is like that we're not in a position to help. Like, you know what I mean? I think that we are in a position to help.
Name another
I mean,
country that's $39 trillion in debt.
I don't know, man. I mean,
It's failing. We can't keep going this way. We have to fix it. So we
name
need
another
8 years of
country that's
isolationist.
$39 trillion in debt, but the citizens are still living normal lives and they're okay.
Well, that's because the blood's on our hands, though. That's because of the military industrial complex and
I
the
mean,
big oil is
that's
propped up
fair.
by. That's yeah. So again, if it's just 8 years, man. It's just to recover and like work on us, work on our homelessness, work on our education, work on all the things that both sides want. Work on that, and then we can go back outside.
Dylan, your mic is muted or something.
It's because he's wearing a pink shirt.
Yeah, if we wanted to fix education and homelessness, we would. It's not the military-industrial complex or the world police bullshit or any of that bullshit that's preventing us from fixing education and homelessness. It's a lack of political will. Like, if we really wanted to work on
That's
those
right. That's
issues, we
fair.
could walk and chew gum at the same time.
I think so too. I think we're
We would just rather be mad about trans people and mad about Muslims and mad about,
yes.
no,
No, I
whatever
agree.
other trendy bullshit.
Me
Like,
and you are on the same wavelength right there. I think that we're just Silver. I think we're as American citizens. I just think that we're too distracted by the bullshit. I really do. Like
100%.
nobody cares about what's really happening. All anybody cares about is like what affects me in my life and what's going on right now because everybody's selfish, bro, and everybody wants
This
to
is
just
my entire point constantly,
yeah
is if you
yeah.
let
I'm with Dylan on
politicians
that.
distract you with bullshit, then they don't actually have to solve problems.
I would agree.
This is what
I
I
don't
always
know if
say.
8 years, like, I'm not mad at your take. I mean, I feel like taking some time to like really self-reflect and get it together is never a bad thing. But with recovery, the first step to reaching recovery is admitting that you have a problem, right?
They can't even do that. So
We can't do
mean,
that, bro. We can't do that.
no,
It's not
I'm
just
talking about
them.
the government.
I know.
No, but
The
it's also
government
us.
and
The
us,
government
we
reflects
cannot.
us.
Yeah,
It's
we're
our
bad
fault
off,
that the
bro.
government's that way
Yeah,
because of who we're
yeah,
electing. Like, they
yeah.
just represent the divisiveness in our people.
I think we're bad off. I think that the people of
I don't-
America need change.
I
Vote
mean,
for
I think we
Tallarico.
just need to get some self-awareness. Dang, let's go.
The
I mean,
worst.
I don't know what I
So
think
what's your
about the whole
take?
situation.
'Cause you're not super informed on, like, some current events like this. So
I am
what's your
trying,
take on this
though.
whole Iran thing, though? Like, what's your take? What have you seen? Because there's so
Um,
much crazy bullshit that's come out constantly about it, and I know you're not like,
I have
attached.
I have literally ignored all of it, man, because I don't know, and this is part of my problem as an American citizen is I don't really know what I don't know, bro. Like I don't know. I've due to the problems we were just talking about that are so evident and existent within everybody. I don't know what's what. Like I'm just looking at everything like a circus, and I'm like, where's something real? Where's something real? Anywhere. Like so
What
I
do you?
ignore
I
it.
mean, what do you mean? What's your definition of real?
Just like no bullshit, no part like no like selling, no coding. Like I don't even know what's going on. I really don't. Like I know that supposedly Israel are for sure, from what everybody says, Israel got us to go and take care of this problem in Iran. And all of a sudden it's so bad. But the reason that I hear that it's bad is because Israel instructed us to do it. Main reason that I hear it's bad. And that leaves me like, okay, but
I mean,
like
No,
I think that could be a bad reason in itself.
that's not the better. Yeah, that's not the reason why. That's
well,
part of it.
I'm even asking y'all, like, what is the bad part?
Well, it can be bad because we didn't do it for our own best interest. We did it for another. Is a bad reason. But I think the
Could be
bigger
bad
issue,
reason.
even aside from that, is that we've heard like 10 different reasons from 10 different, of the top officials in our government, much less those same people changing their tune every fucking day at this point.
Well, yeah,
Like,
but like bad reason
it
to
just goes
do
to show
a good
that
thing or bad reason to do a bad thing. Like that's what I'm saying. Like it's this old that's why I asked y'all this. Ultimately is like, is this good? Like Iran being taken care of finally, like no more terroristic threats. They can't do anything to harm Americans. They can't
well,
do anything to harm our little friendly neighbors over here or Israel or nobody. Like,
but you're
is
assuming
that
we're going to
ultimately a good
succeed
thing?
is the other thing. You're assuming we're going to win or that there
Yes.
is winning.
Yes.
No, just look at the way.
So
No,
no,
they other countries in the Middle East, they're attacking. Like this is catastrophic, and it's also it's the Persians, dude. This empire has been around longer than anybody. They're never going to go away. We
Okay.
know this.
even
That's why. Go ahead.
even that. Sorry. So they have these things, the Shahed, whatever drones they make. They
Mhm.
cost like $10,000 to $50,000. They're like $30,000 for these automated drones, right? That bomb a bunch of shit. And every time we shoot one of those down, Nelson, do you know how much it costs us between $1 to like $4 million.
And they just shot down
So
an F-35. It's never been done before. Like,
Okay,
dude,
so
this is catastrophic.
so the
so
expenses is catastrophic.
well,
I'm just trying to follow
not even
y'all in
that,
full
but
detail.
the
I'm not
problem
even
is like
arguing.
it's disproportionate. So if they have 100,000 or not 100,000, if they have a few thousand of these drones, what go Silver?
Sorry, there's somebody in the comment section being retarded. Iran
Nah,
government shouts death to
that's
America. If
that's
they
fine,
get
bro.
nukes, they will hit. Okay, they will hit us immediately, bro. Trump himself said they obliterated any chance of them making nukes. That was dead in the water.
Silver.
The 12-day war that wouldn't go any further. Right? That's what they said. Trump
Silver.
himself said that, and then
Listen.
now they could have nukes. What the fuck are you talking about?
Listen. This is the issue. Why would he listen to anything you just said?
We
Why
mean
would he? Why
Well,
would
he
he
should.
listen
Well,
to
what
you?
he should do is he
Well,
should
listen
Google
to
White House. Wait. He should Google White
It's
House
cooked.
Trump obliterated nukes, and he'll find an article on the WhiteHouse.gov website that's from
that they
June
killed it.
2025, where there's a list of like 20 quotes that say that Iran's nuclear program has been set back like
Dude, we have
decades,
people are dying.
or years at minimum.
People are dying due to the ignorance of the masses, agreeing with Trump on something that he himself said he already obliterated. Americans are dying right now because of the lies that politicians are pushing forward.
And Tulsi Gabbard literally said that in her
And
written report, she said that
Marco
there was no
Rubio,
evidence that
all
they
of
had
them.
recovered any of the nuclear material from
They
the
need
bomb nuclear facilities.
they need conversation without feeling humiliated. They need conversation without feeling like people are taking aim at them, and they need conversation that's instructional and not destructional. Something constructive.
That's fair.
And,
I did a lot of
they're
pull-ups
not-
today. I
that-
apologize.
That's why that. And listen, why would he? Why? I know Dr. Gold. He's a member of mine. Shout out to Dr. Gold. Much love. But all he's like, if this was anybody else, they would just literally just go run to the other side and say, well, screw him because he treated me like shit on a live. Like, you know what I mean? Like, at some point, if we really want change, we have to have patience and we have to have some kind of construction in the way we're talking to people. That's my only point. That's kind of the point of
Well,
what
is
we're doing
he
here.
is he thin-skinned liberal or is he a thick-skinned MAGA? I mean, I think he'd be fine. He'd be all right.
Bro,
think he's-
MAGA is not thick skinned.
I
Come
was
on
about
now.
to say, I think
know,
MAGA
I
is
know,
just
I
as
know.
thin-skinned as liberals. They just don't
There's
know it for the most part.
there's a bell curve of thick skinness, all right?
Yeah.
And the closer to the middle you are, I think the thicker your skin is, and the closer to the edges you are, the thinner. I mean, but here's the
wanna have
thing is,
elephant
like, I
skin.
agree with the general sentiment that, like, if we can, obviously easily get rid of threats to America, then I more so than Silver even would say, like, yeah, let's fucking do it. I don't mind getting involved in foreign entanglements. But the problem is like I said, Nelson, you're assuming that we're going to succeed, right? Because we could be
based on
looking
whose
back on this
intelligence,
in
though?
10 years. Well, we could be looking back on this 10 years from now with the son of the guy who we just killed, the son of the guy whose parents we just killed, actually, and potentially
Right.
his wife, right? And we're like, oh fuck, we were kind of better off under the guy who was his dad, who was a little bit more chill. Because even
It's been
Tulsi
happening for
Gabbard in the
50
hearing-
years.
well, Tulsi Gabbard in the hearing literally did say that the son is more of a hardliner and more extreme than his father, and that was before we fucking killed the guy, right? So he might be even a little crazier now.
And
So
that's
we could be
fair.
looking back on this and being like, oh shit, we fucked up. Like, we had a chance to maybe do it a better way. So I think you're, and like I said, I'm all for being charitable, but like, you're being even too charitable and just assuming that there's only one positive outcome from this. Because theoretically, there's a lot of negative outcomes. I mean, God knows if if we have the guy cornered and he pushes, the big red button that just bombs, his own oil fields and Qatar's oil fields, as he's shown
Yeah.
the wherewithal to do. Like, Silver was saying, that shit took like tens of billions of dollars.
No, that was
at least from what
Israel.
from
Israel
what I
did
heard.
that. Israel did
Well,
that,
no,
not
the
Iran.
I'm talking about the LNG facility in Qatar.
Yeah, that was Israel. That was Israel.
No, Israel attacked Iran's facility, and then
Oh,
Iran
they did their
Qatar.
LNG. Oh, got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But,
I
yeah,
thought I
so-
was confused. I was getting confused by the acronym, the LNG or whatever.
liquid natural gas.
The natural
is what
gas.
they-
Yeah, liquid natural gas.
Um,
You're right. That's
so-
yeah.
So stuff like that, Nelson, like the attacks on those facilities that Iran can do and has shown the ability to do, can set us back in our LNG production and all these other things like
Globally.
decades at this point. Yeah, globally.
globally.
So if they want
So
to just like fuck us over for the sake of fucking us over as one last hurrah to, screw over America, they are 100% capable of doing that
Okay.
without nukes.
Well, thank you for explaining that in detail in that way. That's kind of the points on why I ask these questions, because I want y'all to constructively talk to people and constructively tell people the answers to these things. But
I was trying,
I
and then
think
Silver
that's
just
why I say all the
really,
time. I think that
got
it's
triggered.
important to not attack every conversation as if it's a debate, right? Debates cause for frantic, and we see it online, and we see people get owned, and it's like, hell yeah, man. But at the end of the day, like, if we really want change and we want to enact change, then we have to start having some healthier conversations. That's why I asked some of
well
those
then
questions.
so right, but so he comes into the chat saying isolationism is stupid. It's not
That's
stupid. There's
true.
actually reasons why people right, and then
That's
then
true.
from that he goes and then he states as a fact
Wait,
that they
Nelson,
would
are we
nuke us.
live?
Well,
Yeah, we are.
Oh, okay. I think the broadcast got cut
so
up somehow.
It did.
anyway,
The first one
that's
ended.
why
Remember, the screen went black.
Okay.
sorry.
Sorry.
That's why I reacted the way I did, because he was coming from a matter of fact when it was not a fact
That's
based
fair.
on the very person he voted for.
That's
So-
fair.
Well, I agree with him that I disagree
Well,
with him.
but you
about
also
that.
like guys that wear masks and say beef is hurting the climate. So yeah, we agreed. For you can
Wear
disagree.
masks.
It's fine.
Like, we have a different obligation than a commenter has. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. We have an obligation to these people.
Yeah, hold
Like,
yourself to a higher standard, Silver.
Yeah, all three
Oh
of us.
my God.
All three of us.
Pull yourself up to the higher standard.
I can't do no more. I can't do no more.
If we
No more
really want to
pull-ups.
split the difference, man, we got to do it constructively. We're never gonna make a difference. Never gonna make a difference by going back and forth.
He just said isolationism is stupid to him in his opinion. That's cool.
Yeah.
But your second thing about the nukes was not an opinion. That was wrong. That's a wrong statement. That's a wrong statement. And so I was correcting it.
Well, no,
In an
his was a
amped way.
conditional statement that said if they get nukes, then they would attack us immediately, which might be true. But the fact is that they, at least based on all the available evidence that Tulsi Gabbard has, is that they weren't close to actually having nuclear weapons that could have hit us. So,
But
not
they've been saying that
technically
for
wrong.
47
Sucks that
years.
That's according to Tulsi. I do feel like Tulsi and Trump and all of them, they need to get their ducks in a row, man, because they're all giving
but they-
very different messages, and that's part of the other thing that's confusing. And I think I'm going to be honest with you guys. I think that they know that just tomorrow nobody's going to care. It doesn't matter what.
no, not
I don't know,
this,
this-
bro. Not this.
This is a little
Not
bit
this.
different. This is different.
The
So
majority.
I was
They
having
thought-
an argument.
I'm telling y'all, bro. The majority of people.
Well,
Look what happened with Charlie Kirk.
Nelson,
Charlie
gas
Kirk
prices aren't going down anytime soon, bro.
They're going to blame it on something
shit-
else.
They can try, but I mean, this is a bell you can't unring. Like, this
Dude,
shit is fucked.
nobody's forgotten about Epstein yet. They said that we would forget about Epstein. Nobody's forgot about Epstein. Like that's
It's been
still,
on and off.
people are still pissed about that.
That's
So,
true.
and no,
It's been
people
on
have not
off.
forgot about Charlie. Charlie gets brought up all the time because guess what? Charlie was the main one pushing Trump to not go fight Iran. And then what happened?
Yeah, I miss.
I mean, he was
Charles,
mean-
bro. It's my dog.
Yeah, I mean,
but
that
he was
he was
line, bro. He would have fallen in line just like
he
everybody else.
he was
did.
adamant. He was adamant about not going to war with Iran. Adamant. He has many podcasts, many lives, many debates. He was very against it. He brought Dave Smith on to debate people that were pro going to war with Iran. I mean, he was for years. That's what he promoted, was not going to war with Iran. No more regime change.
Yeah.
And then he gets clapped, and then Trump changes his entire tune overnight.
I do
I mean,
think
what
that
do
it's
we do?
strange. I do think that's weird, Dylan. I'm not much of a conspiracy theorist, but I do think that it's weird that like the one loud conservative that people actually paid attention to and rocked with had different viewpoints on this stuff. I do think that that's strange.
Yeah, but the thing is, Nelson, every single Trump supporter prior to when we actually bombed Iran was against it as well. They
Yeah.
didn't get killed.
But they weren't strong.
That's true.
Like, they weren't strong.
But they weren't-
like
they
this,
weren't-
though, man.
I'm
They
not
were
saying
different
that's 100% causation, but dude, like what? I mean, and on top of the fact that he called out I think it was 2 days after October 7th, when he went on PPD's podcast. If you haven't seen that, go back and watch that.
Yeah.
Unless they cut it out. That shit was
No, it's
dude. He
up.
went hard in the paint against Israel, and then the rest is history. But it is what it is.
Well, he's also smart. He's he's politically aware enough to notice, especially considering like what he does with young people. That sounds weird. Especially considering his role
Pause.
as politically activating young people. He knows that the political sentiment of young people has shifted, like basically inverse of older people on Israel. Like as good as Israel polls for old people is as bad as it polls for young people at this point. And it's getting even worse the more they're basically digging a
it's
hole for
done.
themselves.
Yeah, they're done now. I don't know how they recover from this.
Which I think
Israel's a
that's
big.
part of why everything is happening right now. Like they kind of know that like the sentiment of America has shifted away from them, so they're trying to get as much out of Trump as possible as far as like
Yeah,
bombing, Middle Eastern countries. They're like, all right, this is the last guy we're gonna have that's gonna do what we want, so we might as well have him push all the buttons in our favor and
Yeah,
bomb
I
all the
will
people
say,
we
like,
fucking hate.
after this, whether it be conservative or liberal, I mean, something they're going to have to run on literally is, literally like
not
vowing to
supporting
not
Israel.
get involved with other countries. I
Well,
love the Golden
particular
Dome thing that
countries.
he sold too. Y'all remember the Golden Dome joint that he was selling when he was
No,
running? Like, we're going to put a dome over the country where you can't bomb it, can't do this, can't do
A
that.
golden, yeah. Has anyone bombed us recently, Nelson?
No, I'm just saying that would be like that would be fire with all of these threats that I love that idea, but he doesn't want
I mean,
that's
yeah,
what I'm
that's
saying. Like
space.
it's
we
that's
we
my
have
beef is like a lot of empty promises.
Yeah, that's the name of the
I
game.
mean, we're still waiting for Mexico to pay for the wall, so it's gonna happen soon. Fingers crossed.
Well, I don't know, man. I do have. I mean, my faith is different. I lay my faith in God. I don't know. I pray for our country. I pray for other countries, but I don't. It's a headache. It's a headache.
Look, all you have
where
to
are you at
do
with?
do it.
Oh, sorry. We're using Nelson software, and it's all laggy for all
It's
the people.
terrible.
That's why
We
keep
just
interrupting
we
each other.
talk over each other. We can't.
You have to like
simple.
close your eyes because everything is delayed on the screen.
Do you look at yourselves, you weirdos, or do you look at me? Or who
Yeah,
you're
bro,
talking to?
you look at everybody. I'm look at all
who
three
I'm
of you
talking
guys.
to. I'm looking at you right now while I'm talking to you,
Well,
and
but
I look at Silver. Like, I don't know. I don't look at
yeah.
myself. That's the only thing
Well, I
that looks
wouldn't want to
laggy is
either if
when
I
you're
looked
like
like you.
obsessed with looking at yourself, like you're looking in the mirror. You freaks. Just look at the other person you're talking to, and it's not
That's what I've been
laggy.
doing.
Yeah, it's
Well,
not laggy.
there'll be a break. There'll be a break, and I'll start talking, and then somebody will talk over.
Yeah.
Oh, we
Well, I
do
was
that
gonna ask Silver,
regardless.
what's your stance religious wise? Like, I know you're leading Christian or whatever, but like, what particular denomination?
This will be good.
How firm are you on all that?
What denomination?
I'm open to whatever. I'm agnostic, I guess, at this point would be what I would say.
Oh. I thought you leaned like Christian.
I'm agnostic. I think it's ignorant on a human level if you just go with like Christianity is the right way. Whenever that's not even the oldest religion, so it's like I don't know what's what. So you know what I mean. I'm open to.
I
Go
think
ahead.
that you're one of the people that wants to believe in Jesus, but you can't figure it out.
Well, it's not just say that. It's just like in general, because like there's the sun god that was a lot of the stories that were in the Bible came from that. Like it gets
That's
really
not
tricky.
true.
So
That's not true. They didn't come from that. Yeah, that's a deep layered conversation. But they didn't.
I've seen
come from that.
I've seen debates where like the
Like Billy
Bible people
Carson
get
versus
stumped.
Wes Huff, bro.
No, not that one. They were both on the same side, which is even crazier.
Billy
If you-
Carson.
I mean,
and
it's
Wes Huff?
objectively
Yeah,
proven that a lot
they're
of
they're
No,
both
bro.
Christian. They're both Christians,
No. I'm
right?
thinking of the wrong
But
name.
Wes
The
Wes
guy that
was
made Wes
he's a
Huff
Catholic,
famous. The guy that made Wes
right?
Huff
He's
famous.
a Christian.
Yeah,
He's a
no,
Christian.
he literally like eliminated him in that debate about the Son God versus the Son of Jesus and going back.
No, they were talking about. So he was talking about like the Book of Enoch and stuff like that. Like he got a lot of his facts wrong and times wrong. He got all this shit. That's why he got so destroyed. But they were both arguing from the same perspective, which I thought was cool because they're both Christian. I thought they were. Pretty sure. I'm pretty sure Ben Carson's Christian.
No, I mean, that goes back into like what I label like being a Christian is very simplistic to me. If you believe that
They
you
both
are
believe in Jesus.
imperfect, if you believe you are in, that you can believe that Jesus walked the earth, that's one thing. But believing that he is the son of a God is another. Like Muslims believe that Jesus was miraculous and that he walked the earth, he was a prophet. They even believe that he came from a virgin birth, but they don't believe he's the son of God. So like being a Christian means to believe that Jesus is your saving grace, that he died for you, um, and to try to live your life like he did.
I could have
That's
swore
basically what they're saying.
I'm pretty sure he said all the same things. I'm
He
almost
was
positive.
he was debating against it. He was saying that those parts of the Bible can't be accurate because they align with Ra and all the
Wait, so
what's it
I
called?
don't
Nelson, do you
remember
not
his,
acknowledge that there are like a ton of common themes throughout a lot of religions, or like tropes
Yeah.
or holidays that have been co-opted by certain religions? Like, I mean, I'm pretty sure it's
Yes.
just factually true that like Christmas is a winter solstice celebration. It's been co-opted to celebrate the birth of Jesus and all that.
No, I mean, that's fine. Like the day that we choose to celebrate the birth of Christ doesn't mean that that's the day that Christ was actually born. It's just the day that we celebrate it. But if you could proportionately disprove, if you could say that the Bible actually, the story of the Son of God actually came from a different source, then the whole thing is dead. Like there's nothing to believe in anymore.
well, that's where it
Well,
gets
that goes
complicated though,
to,
because the Catholic Church ruined so much of it. We don't even have the full book because they ruined so much of it.
I don't believe that.
that's
I
Well,
where
believe
that's where it
they
gets to the
I
point
believe the
of
Bible is everything we're supposed to have.
no, because they literally they got rid of a lot of it. They talk about this. Even Will Smith, what's his face, talks
They
about it.
don't get
wait,
rid
which
of the
Bible?
Bible. I believe the King James. So according to the Catholic Church, like the King James Bible, they didn't, this gets misconstrued a lot. They didn't take away from the, added to it, and they added their own law. So there's a Catholicism book that they go by, whereas that's where you get like I have to go through the priest to get to God. I have to have a penance for my sins, and then that's where you
Indulgences.
get involved with all the lost sea scrolls and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, the Bible is thorough. I mean, I believe the Bible is 100% thorough, 100%. Like you can't convince me unless it's 100% real fact. And if you can do that, if you can prove that one piece of the Bible was taken out, if you could prove that something was added by man, if you could prove any of that,
Well,
then
they debated what should be in there in the first place.
the whole they debated on
They
their
did.
Catholicism. They debated on what they
No,
wanted to
the
do with
Silver is
Catholicism.
100% correct. There was a whole like council they did where they debated on like
Yeah.
what was going to be canon, what
Oh,
wasn't when they made the
yeah.
book.
Okay, yes. So you're talking about the original, not the Catholic Church, the original.
When they made the King James Bible, is my understanding.
Yes,
There was
that's
like
not
a
the
whole
Catholic
thing
Church.
for it.
That's not the
Well,
Catholic
it's
Church.
like
That was
here's
just the
here's what I
church.
understand. So here's what I understand. You have the Orthodox Christianity, which went Eastern, which is like Russia and stuff, and then you have Catholicism, right? Those
Correct.
were the original Christianity. So then why would anybody believe in baptism or the Baptist? Like that came way after the fact. Why would you be a Presbyterian, whatever? That came way after the fact. If you're
Why
going
is
off the true
anybody a Mormon? You know?
right, it doesn't make any sense. Why would you not go to the original? That's what I've never understood that. That's why I'm agnostic, because I don't understand that. Like I don't know why you would be something other than Orthodox or Catholic when those were the
Well, why
original.
don't you have an iPhone 1.0? Why do you have an iPhone 15 or whatever? You know, you got to get the most updated, newest, shiniest version with the best heaven.
Y'all are going crazy. Y'all are going absolutely crazy.
I mean, maybe it's an ignorant statement, but that's just what I have a hard time with understanding how that works.
Prove
So
it
I mean,
to
by
yourself.
that logic,
That
Silver, you
would
got to
be
go
like
down to
I'm not going
Judaism
to be
and then
able to
figure
do
out
it.
where
I'm
that
not
came
going to be able
from.
to do it with my words. I know I can't do it with Dylan, but I know I'm not going to be able to do it with my words. But prove it to yourself, bro. You know what I mean? That's what I would challenge you to do. Prove it to yourself. If you're like really intrigued by it and you really want to know,
Well,
like
who do you go to ask that? I don't even know who would you go to ask that question.
a local pastor, go have
But
a
how would they
conversation
know?
with a local pastor. Ask
Well,
them.
why would Well, like, how would you say Baptist is the correct one whenever they came after Catholicism? That doesn't make sense to me.
None of those are the correct one. Like those are denominations. That's not Christianity. That's a denomination of Christianity that you might align with the most according to their principles and the way that they see the Bible.
But shouldn't it only be one way?
No, I don't believe. I don't believe so. I mean, it depends on how you. It depends on how you perceive the small things. That's what creates denominations. Like, do you believe that you should be baptized underwater, or do you believe you should be sprinkled by water? Those are
Well,
unimportant things to me. The important thing, the bullseye, is that Jesus died for your sins and that He is the Son of God.
I get that being under that umbrella, sure, but anyway, it doesn't matter. I guess it doesn't really matter.
What's up,
That's
Edie?
the point is, I'm just really agnostic because of all that. Because who's to say, like, I think Buddhism is pretty fucking awesome, and I
It
don't know
also
why
says,
anybody would hate on that.
well, I mean, there's nothing in Buddhism that that's not.
It's
I
more
don't
of
think
a, it's
that,
more
I
like
don't
a
think
lifestyle.
Buddhism is inherently like
It's
religious.
not.
Yeah,
It's not.
it's like a lifestyle.
Yeah, it's a
Mhm.
lifestyle, and I think it probably aligns itself with Christianity in a lot of ways. I think that, I mean, if you want to get to the end of everything, it literally says in the Bible that once Jesus comes into your heart and He saves you and the Holy Spirit enters you, you have the discernment and the wisdom to be able to read the Word for what it is. But it also says that for even if you're an unbeliever, in the beginning the Word was God, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. In the beginning, it's not talking about the Bible, it's talking about Jesus, because Jesus ultimately is the living, breathing Word whenever He comes here. So they capitalize Word, like with a capital W, and this is in Genesis. And when that insinuates that Jesus was with God in the beginning at the creation of our planet, at the creation of our people. So that's the Son of God, right? And when we sinned, and when God started to realize there was no hope for us, He would never be able to be with us because He's a righteous judge. You can't just, allow this sin to go to the wayside, right? Like if somebody killed your mother, you would want that person to pay. But He sends Jesus here to die for everyone's sins, and Jesus lived the perfect life that we were supposed to live. Like